Hello and welcome to episode 28 of Keeping It Real with TNL. I'm your host, Lori, and with me as always is the one and only Coach Ty.
What is going on, everyone? I'm Coach Ty. Today we have a special guest with us, Ashleigh. Ashleigh, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, really quickly, we're going to talk about a few things on the show, but the members at this gym have watched you grow up here since the age of 4 and up. Not only that, now you're already getting to your senior year of high school. You're on the Varsity Cheer team at Cal High, and you've also got an up-and-coming business in makeup artistry. You have a lot going on at such a young age. But first, tell me about how it feels to be on the Varsity Cheer team and everything that you hope to accomplish through that this year. And then we could go into how you found this passion for makeup artistry.
Yeah, so I actually started cheer my freshman year of high school. Before that, I was doing youth weightlifting at the gym. I don't really know what sparked that transition. It just kind of happens. But I've met a lot of my really close friends on that team. What's nice about being on a team with all these girls that I've known for so long, and the fact that they go to my school, is they're gonna come to me to do their makeup and stuff for games, for dances. So it's pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
So how did you actually find out that you were pretty good at it? Like this,
Makeup?
yeah, like this isn't something that happens by accident. You don't just like, oh, now I'm the best. How do we get from now you're actually having a business, you're actually doing people's makeup? Like how did this whole thing kind of transpire?
So it actually started around the time that I started youth weightlifting at the gym. I also was doing gymnastics at the time. I ended up seeing this cute little blonde girl, and I was like, "Hey, girl, I like your shorts." Only time I talked to her. Lo and behold, I come into practice one day, and we have a new girl joining the team, and it was the same girl from gymnastics.
Oh wow.
And I was like, "Oh, hey, nice to see you. How you doing?" Then we kept talking. I think we actually had a sleepover. Yeah. The night that she started weightlifting, so we just kind of hit it off right away. She was very passionate about photography and SFX makeup, which is more Halloween kind of artistic makeup, making you look like something you're not. Um,
Even in the 5th grade?
yeah, she's a year older, but she's still to this day probably one of the most talented artists that I know.
Right.
She's actually in London for hair right now, so she's gonna get her hair cosmetology license, and I'm gonna go down the esthetician makeup route. So it'd be cool if we do something together someday. But as our friendship progressed, she would use me as her canvas whenever I go hang out at her house, do sleepovers, whatever. We have a few embarrassing pictures in my camera roll of me all done up from her, posing out in her backyard. Some crazy stuff. And I think that was kind of the point where I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I want to learn how to do that. And it was also me going into middle school, got some insecurities with my acne going on, wanted to start wearing concealer, all that type of jazz. And she kind of guided me through that. And after my interest was sparked, I kind of went on my own, and now my face looks like this.
No, seriously. So that right there is super cool, and it's nice when you just don't expect something to basically happen. Like you weren't forced to get involved in this, and as you were doing it, you found out that oh wow, this is fun. I'm actually passionate, and the fact that from that time on, you've been continuing to walk down this road and get better and uh, better. It just shows that clearly this is something that for you. Very cool. Very cool.
So on a side note for all the parents, her best friend's mom and I are really good friends. So them having a sleepover, just having that one day officially weightlifting wasn't some bad parenting on anybody's end. That was the first thing I thought. It's like, it's so nice to meet you. Come stay in my house and be with me. Like, come on in. So yeah, our families go way back, and it was great that the girls met. And we love Amelia like she's one of our kids too. So you guys are best. I love it. Let's talk about a few things. First, it's been amazing to watch you develop through all the things, not just as a parent, but as just someone from the outside looking in. Like you're incredibly talented. Just you have this artist gene in you, and I don't know where you got it. So it's really quite fantastic to watch. And Beauty by Ashleigh, your business, is like already taking off, right? So let's talk about a few things. I love learning, what drew this passion up in you, and you were like, let's go. But let's talk about skill development and also how working at Ulta plays into your future plans in the makeup industry, right? Mm-hmm.
So before Ulta, I worked at Jamba Juice. And the only reason I stopped working at Jamba Juice was scheduling issues, wasn't getting the hours I promised, whatever. And I already had a list of places that I was wanting to apply to before I got the job at Jamba Juice.
Okay.
And one of the things on there was Ulta. I also almost applied for Chipotle, but I'm happy it was Ulta. But I didn't think I was going to get the job. But I also was kind of like, I might as well try because this is what I want to do. I go there all the time anyways. The commute's 10 minutes shorter than it is to go to Jamba Juice anyways. So I put my application in. I get a call and they're like, perfect timing for application. We're actually putting together interviews right now. When are you free? And I'm like, I'm in school, but I'll leave early. Like, I'm almost 6 hours. So then I went, I got interviewed by one of the managers who actually doesn't work there anymore, which I'm kind of sad about, besides the point. Interview went well. I didn't hear from them for like 2.5 weeks, so I was like, dang, I did not get this job. But then I decided to call because you were like, hey girl, just call. Like, worst case they say, stop calling us, you didn't get the job. But I got the job. And I ended up going in, and from the get-go, I had to sit down for the first few shifts and watch these videos that educated me on makeup and how to engage with guests and the different brands that we have, what to do if things expire, what it means if a product expires, and how it affects how it works or your skin if you apply it to your face. So from the beginning, I already kind of started to learn things that I had a bit of an understanding about, but it really help me on a deeper level to know these things about products and even things about people and how to engage the people that I'm working with that I think have really helped with me booking my own clients now and doing makeup on my own outside of my work. Yeah. And originally I was hired just to be a beauty advisor, which kind of entails I do color matches. I say, hey, welcome to Ulta. Put stuff in your cart, help you figure out what mascaras are good. Which helped me learn about brands that I didn't know about. Like, I didn't realize that NYX was like $10, but girl, it's the best eyeliner I've ever used in my life, right? It's crazy how price doesn't really affect things. And I can be more cost efficient that way, knowing that these products that cost this amount, instead of $50, $60, $70 for a single thing of mascara, I've just saved myself, what, like $40, $50 on one product? That's crazy. And then as I kept working, they were like, Ashleigh, you're doing pretty well with engaging guests. Do you want to go work up at the register? And that was kind of the point where I started to meet more people because you have to engage with everybody that comes to the register. I learned more about the money goals that we have for every day and how um, your goals for your profit for the day affect your business and how things affect our hours and all these other things that kind of teach me more about the business aspect rather than just products, makeup, how to do makeup. So I think just kind of being thrown into Ulta, being the youngest one working there, it kind of forced me to adapt to the environment and really just soak up all the information.
Wow. So there's a couple of reasons that I'm saying wow. You obviously answered it well, but it's just some kind of key takeaways that I want to mention because not everyone would have came into it with that mindset. I know that there are a lot of people who are you're obviously I can picture it. People are excited about makeup and they just want to get on the floor and start doing makeup. But the fact that you were able to see through the educational process that you got to start, how valuable that information can be for your own personal use in your own business and for you to come in and be like, whoa, this is actually gold here. That's huge. So kudos there. The other thing that I want to comment on was how smart you are at this age to already understand I need to be cost effective. Because obviously running a business profits are always cyclical. Prom time you may have more than someone in the summertime, but cost saving those are profits or a savings that lasts forever. So the more that you understand how to obviously control your costs and the fact that you were still able to have the time to see that it still gave quality work, even though it didn't cost as much as a name brand, that's huge.
Yeah.
Like those are things that you're going to be figuring out now at a young age, so that when you are in the business, you'll know like that. Yeah, certain things I may need back or something fancy, but hey, this right here is $10, best thing in the world. Like those are huge things. And then just the fact that you're the youngest there and you're making this good reputation, that's huge. Very cool to hear all of these things. So the next question then, moving on, is does Ulta offer any opportunities that will follow you through college as well, or anything?
Yes. So what's great about Ulta is if I decide to attend college out of this area or in an area where the commute just isn't really suitable for me, if I'm also in school, whatever, they will help you transfer to a location that's more convenient.
Really?
Yes. So I have a friend who just graduated from my high school, actually, and she's going into college, and she's actually transferring Ulta locations so that she's like 10 minutes away from her school for her work instead of coming all the way back to San Ramon, which is like realistic.
Yeah.
So
I think that's super cool too, because one, from the business owner standpoint, it's much easier for me to get an employee who's already been trained, who already knows the Ulta rules and how you guys operate.
Yeah.
So that's obviously cool. And then that's also benefits you because it allows you to still keep on working towards your goal, whether you're in college or whether you just move. Like that's awesome that they're willing to work with you in those kind of situations. Very cool, Ashleigh.
Love that. Okay, so let's talk about your business plan. Obviously, I know about like the esthetician license and the double major in college and studying abroad, but these are big things, and I want you to share with people because I think you're going to inspire a lot of people of all ages to just get out there and go after their passion and have a solid plan. You're dialed in. Tell us about it.
okay, so obviously I want to get some sort of license, whether it be cosmetology or esthetician license. I'm leaning more towards esthetician because you learn a lot more about skin, and I kind of want to be the makeup artist that knows about your skin and what products I can give you or direct you to buy after I do your makeup, so that the next time you get your makeup done, application's easier, or you kind of learn on your own what products to use for yourself that actually work for your skin. Maybe you won't need a makeup artist for every event, whatever. But on top of getting my license, because it's actually a really regular thing for people to only go to cosmetology school, because some of these schools, girl, it's like 4-year college tuition for 9 months of education, of like the basics. Honestly, you're pretty much going to learn the same thing at any beauty school you go to, because, especially in California, because California has such specific and strict guidelines on what you have to know, certain ways that you have to clean things. So every school in this area is teaching really similar things for astronomically different prices. So my plan was to start a community college that offers a cosmetology school because I do want to major in marketing, minor in business. Because I think those are valid skills to be good at if you're going to be starting your own business, booking your own clients, running your own show. And then I'd also just be paying for one school instead of being like, okay, I'm going to go to this college or this university for 4 years and also go to this cosmetology school for 9 months. And I just paid tuition for 2 separate colleges. It's crazy. So I want to get my degree. My first 2 years in community, I'll be working on my degree. I will be licensed by the end of that, if not even before the middle of that, honestly. And then after that, I want to continue my beauty education, but I want to study abroad for that, whether it be Milan, Florence, somewhere in Italy. That's where our family's from. And we've only gone there once, but I love it. And we actually met girls when we were there who were there studying abroad for marketing. So since then, it's kind of been in my sight of something that I want to do. And then after I get back from that, finish my college education, get my degrees, I probably will be working myself through the last few years of my college education because I'll have my license, be able to go wherever I want. You actually need your license in California to rent out a location to do hair or makeup. Like I could be freelance right now, but I can't work through anybody. I can't work through Ulta. I can't go to a salon and be like, hey, you have a wedding party coming in to get their hair done. Can I do their makeup at your salon? And they'll be like, hey girl, are you licensed? And I'll be like, no. And they'll be like, then you can't. So just kind of get everything done at once.
Wow. So
Yeah.
once again, a lot to pick apart here. A lot of very, very good stuff. So number one, just the fact, it amazes me how you were able to kind of pick that out very kind of instantly. Of, we obviously know that California has a certain standard, so you're right. It doesn't matter where you're at; they have to just teach that standard. And then the fact that you're already getting all this personal work experience now, ahead of time, you're already coming in there with what some of those extra schools may offer, which would have been like extra work or extra practice.
Yeah.
And you're already making the time to do that. So the fact that you were able to kind of see that and be like, look, let me find a school where I can do both without having to pay for it. Well, yeah, do both at once. Yeah, that's huge. And then so the whole Italy thing, this is obviously news to me. So I completely take it that, what was that, last year's trip?
Yeah, last year, I think in summer.
It was a game changer for you guys.
Mhm.
So you're looking for what you had mentioned that you had met other girls there, like they were doing the makeup thing or
Marketing.
okay, marketing.
Yeah. So my thing is like, whether it be marketing or makeup, I know that that's an option for me, you know?
I like that. I like that. And then the other thing that I like is that you like, it's nice that you're very, very kind of step by step in each process. So you're not jumping all over the place. You're 17 and you have a clear plan of what you want to accomplish. Now, obviously, life may throw stuff that kind of changes things, but you have a track that you're on, which is huge. There are so many people that we know who are just kind of drifting, who are hoping that they're going to land somewhere and everything is just going to work out for them. And me and you both know that's not how life works at all. So just the fact that you at least have a map and goals that you're obviously working toward, and you're not just talking, you're actually doing. That's the other thing that's huge. There's so many people who I hear, yeah, I tell like I'm gonna lose weight and I'm gonna do this and all these things. It's just talk. We all know it. But since the Ulta thing, well, since you've left John Juice, I've obviously heard so much from your mom how uh, about how everything's going with Ulta, and then you obviously did the photo shoot with Four Elements, and so that's the one I had seen some of your work personally. And I was like, holy damn, this is some pretty good stuff. So, like I said, it is so cool to meet someone so young who's so focused.
Thank you.
Huge, huge. So let me get back on the script because, like I said, there was just so much going on. I had to pick apart because no, these are all very, very good things, and there's not a lot of 17-year-olds who have this level of focus. But not only that, you are seeing things that most adults who are trying to run a business wouldn't have picked up on. That's what's valuable. So that said, next up, tell us about Beauty by Ashleigh and on the whole social media side. I've been seeing a lot of posts recently, a lot of great reels, a lot of you doing your own work and kind of showing what you can do. How's that process been?
Yeah. So through my school, actually, I have a program that I joined called iQuest. And it's this program where if you get accepted, one of your classes for school is that you have an internship outside of school. And I wouldn't really consider mine like an internship. It's more of like, I have a mentor and her name's Melissa. She's great. She has her own business. She was one of the first people that I reached out to, contacted me almost immediately that night actually. We put together this whole thing and I meet with her pretty much weekly. It's been kind of spotty throughout summer just because we both have our own things going on. She has her kids, her family, her business, whatever. But she is who introduced me to her social media and where she buys all of her stuff. And she's really guided me she was the reason that I really started my Instagram page.
Really?
Because most of her clientele came from her Instagram. She told me the story. Before she even had her license to do anything, she has her esthetician license. She had an Instagram of just makeup she did on herself. And she had people DMing her being like, how much do you charge? And at first she was like, I don't do people's makeup, but I don't know, I'll charge you like $15 if you let me use your products. And that's kind of how her journey started.
That's awesome.
So she has these meetings with me and we have pinpoints and goals of each meeting. Like, are we going to go over how to take photos with good lighting, which sounds like a small thing, but that's really how you market yourself. Like, it's all about the lighting, the caption of the post, the tagging of the people, what all the products that went into it, tagging the brands that you use and having them repost you. It's really a whole process, and she kind of pushed me in that direction when it comes to socials. And we'll have other meetings where we'll walk over to Sephora together, and she'll be like, these are good palettes to get that are traversal for all these different skin tones or all these different kinds of skin types. These are the skincare items you can use for skin prep on people with this kind of skin or this skin tone. So
That's
yeah.
huge. Especially like the whole social media thing. There's many people who kind of think that social media is like it's a joke or it's just whatever. But there's two types of people on social media. There's scrollers and there's people like you who are actually running a business, which is what social media is truly for.
Yeah.
It's a platform for you to showcase where you're not having to actually pay huge advertising fees. Because let's just think about it. You don't know about this, but we go back to the old school, like '93, back when cable had A and B side. The only way people knew about you is if you were on TV and there was a commercial, or if somebody randomly mentioned you word of mouth, like, oh, I went to this one place and they did some good work.
Yeah.
And that was how anybody really learned. And now we have this free platform where you could put anything you want and you could actually, like you said, build a brand. How's that been going? Like some of your posts are getting some huge likes. Like that's huge. What do you think has been the hardest thing with the social media for you? Is it the constantly having to post, or is it the having to shoot the videos? What do you feel is the part that's the toughest?
I think the hardest part is really figuring out what the algorithm wants to share with everybody. Because that's a really big thing. You can add your hashtags, you can do your ads, you can do the trending sound. And sometimes Instagram just doesn't put your video on the For You page.
No.
Like, you really have to pull from what everybody's liking, but it's really hard to figure out what everybody's liking because I don't know if you've noticed, but trends change like every day. Like, literally, right now it's Labubu's. 2 months ago, it was, I don't know, like hydro flasks and Stanleys, and I don't know. Like, I'm 17 and I can't keep up with it. And I think that's kind of crazy.
So no, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. I was going to joke with you. Yeah, trying to figure out the Instagram algorithm is like trying to break into the Smithsonian Institute. It's one of those things, and you're absolutely right. The trends are constantly changing. We're living in a world that is moving so fast, and a lot of people aren't used to that pace. Like this is a whole entire. Prior to you growing up, it was pretty slow. You either worked 8 hours and you went home and then you watched TV and then you went to bed, and that's what you did for like 50 years, and that was life. But now, like you just said, everything is changing every day. And if you don't know what's hit and what's hot, and especially in your field, obviously you're absolutely right. You know no one's going to follow you. So the fact that you're actually trying and you know that you have to do that, that's huge. Because most people just put on junk and they hope it works out. And it's like, no, you have to do it a certain way if you want the reach that you're looking for. And you just already knowing that, trying to figure it out, you will figure it out. And once it hits, it just takes one viral video and you're set for life. You're like, okay, now everybody knows them. And after that, you're just knocking them out. Yeah, very cool.
So a couple things. One, your work ethic is top notch, and I do know where you get that. No, but seriously, your internship doesn't start till the fall, and you're already working with your mentor and just driven by passion. And as someone who didn't really get to do what she was meant to do until late 30s, early 40s, it's a life lived doing what you're passionate about is like the best life. So my mom heart is super happy for you. And I also want to point out that you just did a makeover for a woman that needed professional headshots for a magazine interview, and then Four Elements Photography did the pictures. And I mean, I know the woman, right? And Ty knows Four Elements Photography and your work, and the woman who had the pictures done as well. And they are like a 10 out of 10. Like, no, she sent me one that she just took like a selfie before she got her pictures back like 48 hours later. So quick turnaround with Four Elements. They're amazing. And she sends it to me and I'm like, oh. I mean, phenomenal. So talk about what it's like, because you've done makeup on friends and people your age. And now you have someone your mom's age that has this professional look for a headshot for a magazine interview that was super important. Like, to walk us through it from you setting up the equipment at a certain time in the neighborhood and everything you felt from start to finish, because I love this story.
Well, it all started with a DM. If you go on my page, you'll see that my main way of communicating is Instagram DMs right now until I figure that out otherwise. But she reached out, let me know what was going on, kind of gave me the rundown of what she's looking for. She actually asked if I could do her hair, which I wasn't expecting, but it came out pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. And so she let me know what day it was. She needed to be to her photo location by 9 a.m. I think. Was it 9? So I was like, hey, are we down to let me start like at 5:45 a.m.? Because I'm the kind of girl that wants time for perfection. I'd rather have an hour extra time and lose that sleep than be rushing towards the end, not have it be done. And she was like, that's pretty early. Do you want to do like 6:15? And I was like, okay, 6:15. So we ended up meeting at 6:15. Before we met up, I got all these Pinterest pictures so that she could get an idea of like maybe what would show up well in pictures would also kind of go with the color palette that she likes. We kind of took elements from all the different pictures that I had and made it our own. I got up in my car. She made breakfast for me. Enthusiast. She got me Starbucks. I needed that. Needed coffee. It was like what, a 20-minute drive? Yeah. Blasted music in my car so I wouldn't fall asleep. It takes 3 months to get a professional makeup bag shipped to you from this one brand that every makeup artist uses. So I didn't have a professional makeup bag, so I used my cheer backpack and a makeup bag that I had. Stuffed everything in there the best I could because I had to bring all the curling iron, hair oil, and all the makeup products. So that was a little rough. And I got in my car, started driving to her house, and I told my mom this. I talked to the person at the gate. It's like a nice neighborhood, beautiful neighborhood. I start driving in. There's like all the big houses, and then you get to the bigger houses and the bigger houses, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And then I just got this overwhelming feeling. I get so emotional talking about it, like every time, and it's like not even that deep. Whoa,
It is that.
but I just get this overwhelming feeling, and I'm like, I'm gonna have this someday. Like, girl, why am I crying?
Because you felt that.
Yeah, but like, I'm capable of working hard, and I'm gonna work to this someday. And I have the text evidence. I texted my boyfriend, and I was like, dude, this is gonna be my life someday, and I'm gonna get myself there. So then I arrive at her house. She has her little coffee. She's finishing her breakfast. She's super cute. Her dog greets me at the door. Love her dog. I let her finish eating, drinking, do her hair while she finishes that up. We do her makeup, fix a few things as we go along, because that's what's great about extra time too. Like if you book with me, if you're willing to give me that extra hour of time, it's gonna come out that much better. Because there were things that we thought that she'd like, but then we put it on her. Of course, she has a different kind of beautiful face. Her skin tone might be slightly lighter, slightly darker. We realize there's a better color that we can do. Now we can go and fix it, make it better, and now she looks perfect and just she looked so radiant and amazing in the pictures. And we actually did run until the last minute, and I was like, I told you we needed that extra time. Like we barely made it, and we still got that extra hour. So I don't know. I was really proud of myself. I felt that she looked amazing. And I tell you this all the time too, even at my work. My favorite part of doing someone's face is how they light up when they look in the mirror. Because like everybody's already so gorgeous inside and out, but when you do certain things on their face, it just highlights the best qualities and features, and then they see that like you see it, and it's just like that's the best payment for me is seeing people's reactions when I'm done. Yeah.
Very deep stuff. It's very deep stuff. I know someone else who felt that way. I recently heard a podcast about her. Estee Lauder. But she is probably one of those. People don't talk about her often, but she's one of the most unspoken of founders of one of the greatest businesses in the world. And it was all kind of how you did. It was just pure passion going from spot to spot, house calls, and her whole entire goal was, I want to make you feel beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Because you're right. Like people will pay a premium for that feeling that you can create because not everybody just has that within them to feel confident and feel good. And if you could give somebody that feeling of confidence, that feeling of confidence that they're happy with the reflection looking back, that is life changing. So I'm honestly glad that you see the power that you have. And then one of these days, I'll probably tell you about that feeling that you had when you were in the neighborhood and how to impress that feeling and find it every time and put that out there so that will come. But the fact that you've already claimed it now and you already know that you could have it, that's half the battle. There's a lot of people who wouldn't even let themselves dream that big. That's small. It's got a good big mind. Really cool stuff there. So after that, let me say, this is kind of random, and I know that you may have an answer, but let's just say that everything goes perfectly. Everything goes according to how it's supposed to. The the business grows, you end up doing everything that you want. Tell me what that looks like 6, 7 years out, like in a perfect world. Where do you see
7 years.
after college, after licensing, like what would be like time? If this went down, bro, I would be up to here. What does that future look like for you and your business?
Yeah, I think some of the bigger things are having my own location instead of being a travel makeup artist or having people come into my little janky room.
Nice room.
And also having like a client base. Like, of course, I'm gonna be accepting new people throughout my whole life of doing this, but having those 3, 4, 5 people that trust me enough to keep coming back to me. Because I feel like that's kind of the moment where you're like, whoa, I'm good enough to where these people are reaching out to me months in advance to make sure that they can book with me for this event, their wedding, whatever. And I'm not fully sure if this is ever going to happen, but I think one of my biggest dreams, makeup wise, is creating a brand because I know so much about makeup and I'm going to know so much about skin. And she knows so much about health and wellness that I feel like I'm capable of getting enough information about people's skin and people's health and makeup brands in general that I'd be able to create a brand that's traversal and healthy enough for a majority of people to use. And I don't know, like, I think a lot of makeup artists have the dream of like revolutionizing the game, but I feel like I'm kind of in that area too.
Yeah.
And I think I really can.
Yeah. That's so cool. I love hearing that. The goal to start your own brand. And so there's a couple of things that I love about that. Number one, there's never anything wrong with service. I know me and Tim and Lori, this is something that we always talk about. Service is amazing, but like you said, service is limited. You can only do so much makeup at one time. But having a product, that's something that's going to be selling while you're actually doing makeup, while you're at home asleep, while you're out traveling the world. Products bring wealth because you only have to make it perfect once and it can sell for an entire lifetime. As opposed to you having to be stuck at one place constantly doing the same thing over and over again. So the fact that you're even thinking about varying how you could do that, that's awesome. And you're right, you got a mom who knows a lot about health. And like I said, I'm gonna be the dude who's got all the money I'll be investing. And especially since I get to know who you are now and I got to see all of this and how it's playing out and where your head is. This is something that I know is very rare. There's not a lot of individuals who have just your mindset and how you kind of look at the future. But not only that, you're not taking half-assed steps. You're actually trying to learn how to do it right. You're trying to learn how to be the best. And you said something that I really truly loved was I'd rather take the time than rush it. So many people have a mindset, I'm just trying to get through. No, don't try to get through. Try to be perfect at it. And that's the true artist. you like obviously like Michelangelo wasn't trying to rush work.
Yeah.
Dudes were taking years because that's the quality that they want to give to their craft. And that's huge that you already know, like, no, I'm not doing this just to get paid. I'm not doing this just to pass time. I want it to be good.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Very deep.
But yeah, I love that you have this idea of what if I created amazing makeup and pigment, all the things that we lose when we go to brands that take out the popular chemicals. Because you and I are allergic to wheat and dairy in this country. And as someone who's pushing 50, I can't get a lot of anti-aging products because the main ingredient's wheat in most of them, right? So I'm trying to age gracefully. I don't know, but it's true. It's like we don't think about that. Like we think, I can't go eat at this restaurant because it has X, Y, and Z. But your skin's your largest organ. As soon as you put it on, it absorbs into your body, and you're putting chemicals or things that you're allergic to. They get you break it. All the things happen. So to make a health conscious, phenomenal product that makes people look and feel their best and keep their health is fantastic. Like I'm gonna have to work twice as hard so that I can invest too. Only if Ty lets me put a little bit of investment into action. But I don't know. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I wish a few years ago when I was 17, like 3+ decades, that I had this idea of what I wanted to do and what I was going to do and a solid plan, because you're ahead of some people I know that are my age. Like times like, yep. So yeah, and I'm not just saying that because I'm your mom. Because I made this amazing little product right here that's gonna change the world. Now, seriously, Ashleigh, you're gonna change the world. You're a mover and a shaker, and you do things and you think it through and you put your heart into it, and you're mature. And even today, like being on the podcast, we changed the time because you work today, right? Like you wanted to do both. How do we make it work? Like you're a problem solver, you're responsible, and my God, you have like the biggest heart. You really do. So, and I think it's that love for people and that passion for what you're doing that shows on the canvas that is their face when you do the makeup, right? It's really an amazing thing to see. And thank you for doing my makeup today. Very nice. Like, everyone watching is like, who replaced Lori today? Where'd she come from? Wow, she's in makeup. Oh no, it's crazy cool. I love it. Is there anything else you want to add or tell? Like, you should really tell everyone how to get a hold of you. If they have your business card, they've got an email. Quite on business too. But on social media, where should they find you?
So it's gonna be beauty_by_ASHLEIGH08. That's my app. Beauty by Ashleigh 08.
Because 08's the year you were born, look at you.
17 years old.
17. Anything else you want to add? I mean, this has been like the coolest thing to hear this and talk about all this.
I could talk about this for a long time. I'm going to do that.
For our podcast, people are like, we gotta go do something else.
But there's something that I want to do that's on the screen.
Go ahead. You want rapid fire?
We're going to put it on the hot seat.
Let's see. Random questions. Okay, I won't be too crazy. Go ahead.
All right. I will start it out in easy one. Easy one to knock out the phone. What's your favorite subject in school right now?
That's actually a hard one. Probably iQuest, because I'll just get to do my internship. No, I actually really love English. Writing is also a really big passion of mine. I'm like a poet. So I like writing poetry a lot.
I love that.
I guess I just love expressing myself, I guess, through makeup, words, a lot.
Awesome. I love it.
If you could go anywhere in the world for a week for a vacation, where would you go now?
I'd go back to Italy, or I'd go somewhere tropical, like, I don't know if I'm saying it right, being on Belize.
Yeah.
Supposedly, it's expensive to get there, but it's cheap when you're there.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Yeah, so that sounds like a vibe.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to throw the hard one at you that I asked everyone on the show because I'm curious. If you could talk to anybody dead or alive right now, anybody from Jesus to Beyonce, you could ask them anything you want. Who would you want to sit down and talk to?
I'm so tired. My Beyonce died. Did you see the light? Where's the something about this? Okay, sorry. Anybody, dead or alive, see how that goes? Oh no.
I'm trying to think if I want to keep this makeup based or if I want to keep it like philosophy based. You guys are really mean.
It was a nice question. Don't put that on me. I'm just
What do you mean? You don't have to be all day. You're good.
Ooh, I have kind of a weird one, and it's not like philosophical like you might be hoping for, but I've always asked this question to people. I'm gonna throw it back on you. So I actually asked this to Dad the other day, and he was like, okay. I always say if you died and you could ask one question about anything ever, and it could be answered, but it's only one, what would you ask? And I always find it so funny because you can literally ask anything in the universe, and I'm always like, so who was the Zodiac killer? Like, who was the serial killer? Who did this thing? Like, why didn't they solve that? Who's in charge of this?
who killed John Bonet.
Yeah.
So we've had the DNA the whole time. Just say.
Yeah.
So that's, you would literally go,
I would probably want to know something about an unsolved crime. Yeah.
Okay. You don't have anyone in mind you would ask that to the Zodiac killer himself?
yeah, well, no, he's dead or alive. It's a good answer.
Actually, I'm gonna want to change it up a little. I want to talk to a serial killer that wasn't caught, so he's dead, but I meet him, and I want to know like what went through his head and how he got away with it. You know,
I just added a serial killer too to do it. See? Fairies coming out to light. That's pretty funny. All right, so it's my turn. Question number 4. Oh, this is a tough one. I'll just make it easy and fun. Like, what's your favorite restaurant? And don't say Chipotle. I know. Because it's not a restaurant, but it's kind of not really.
it's a restaurant, and it's my favorite.
Okay.
No, I'd say Bamboo Sushi because it's like one of the only sushi places where I can eat whatever I want because they have gluten-free options.
I mean, the whole place is gluten free.
No,
I love them to bun on the burger.
the only non-sushi thing.
Okay, they're good. They're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Champagne that type. That's saying. Okay, last one. Go ahead.
Last one, and like I said, we will keep it simple. Favorite movie?
That's actually hard for me. Everyone always asks that. Ooh, I like this one. I forgot what it's called, but it's this 911 operator. And it literally, you know, you're a good movie director when you can have every scene be in the same place and be reporting the same person, and I'm watching for 2.5 hours. You know what I mean?
That's a like.
It's just, no, I don't think it's
watch
much. I did have you watch it,
Okay.
but I love it for that reason. Like, it's entertaining, but you're watching the same thing the whole time. And I don't want to like. You should watch it. We should like figure out the name and then tell me the name is so that you watch it.
So after this, we're gonna ask ChatGPT the name, and then we'll put it in the description of the video.
But it's so good. Like, it's literally just this 911 operator. He gets a call and he's like, "This is a weird call," and it ends up being this whole thing. And there's a big plot twist, and I love it. Anything crime, it's so good. You should watch it if we figure out the name.
I love it. No, guys, that literally wraps up everything. And like we said, hopefully you can watch this with an eye that can see some of the wisdom that Ashleigh was explaining in her answers, because that's going to be crucial to understand how someone at this age could have a view of the life that she's willing and wants to create, despite the world around her. She knows where she's going. And a lot of people don't even have that within them right now at an older age. So take some notes here. This is someone special who we would definitely be hearing about doing amazing things in the future. As always, thank you guys for watching us. Keep it classy, Ramon.
Thank you.